mysteries and exploration, thieves and pixie dusters. You are now tuned into the Disney Holic Show.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Jen Diz.
And that's Mike TV.
One missing animatronic, countless theories. This week we're reviewing Stolen Kingdom, the documentary that explores a strange journey leading to one of Disney's most infamous unsolved mysteries. Ooh. First things first, before we get to this really fun episode about a really cool documentary, there's some other spooky news that we got to quickly talk about because it is breaking news. So, over at the Haunted Mansion, your favorite attraction, there was an evacuation over at Magic Kingdom's version. And I'm not sure if you saw the video that was going around or videos that are
You
going
know what?
around.
One finally popped up. I'm so surprised my algorithm isn't just flooded with it.
Right.
But I did see one short one, and I did not realize it was Magic Kingdom because it was
Yeah.
in the graveyard scene.
And it was like full on. Okay, what I was seeing was and hearing was that the cast members on the overhead speakers said, "We are no longer able to assist you. So go ahead and walk out and find the nearest exit on your own." They did turn all the show lights on, and people were like stepping around the grass on the cemetery. And I mean, it is kind of a dream come true to be stuck on that.
Literally, okay. The one I saw, they said that as well. And then they were teaching them, they're like, if you look down to the left of your buggy, you can find the latch or whatever, like how to
Yes,
open up
how
the,
to
and they even
open
called
it.
it clamshells.
Yep.
And I was like, what? They're just like free to just like, oh my God, they're always yelling, no photos or anything. And I'm just so
Yeah.
excited to take pictures of everything and
And I
walk
want to
and touch
see,
everything.
there's got to be more footage of people that were on different scenes in the ride. Where are those cameras? Come on.
Right? Yeah. I need to see more of this. I need to probably dig into this later. But do
Very
you know what
interesting.
happened?
I don't know why there was an e-stop. I just know that it happened. Yeah.
I did read one comment. Someone said, I believe that they do this during fires, like when it's like a quick evac. They
Oh.
like, they don't, have you ever been in an evac? It takes forever because they
Usually
do
it's
like
like
little
vehicle by
groups.
vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they need to
Crazy.
get people out quick, maybe they do that, but there was no fire alert or anything. So I don't know. That was so weird,
I
but
heard
I'm
there were
very jealous.
that it could be an infestation of 999
Woo!
ghosts.
Get out of there
Get
or
out of there
become
quickly.
the 1000th. I would just stay. Just
1000th.
sit down. This is my new home.
Okay, so more Haunted Mansion news over West Coast. This is so exciting. And it's like almost as if somebody created this for you, Jen Diz. So announced this week is Oogie Boogie Bash, but
Hmm.
along with that is Madame Leota's swingin' wake dance party at California Adventure during the Halloween parties.
Okay,
What?
this is like actually breaking news because they just announced it today. I have not gotten to read it. I did see a pop up and I was like, what? But I was at work, so I couldn't. And straight here. So tell me more.
Tracy, that's pretty much all I know. They're going to give more details. They're going to keep sharing more details about all the
Oh
Oogie
my
Boogie Bash
gosh.
stuff. We'll probably start seeing the teasers of new villains that are going to show up. But yeah, that was like one of the first unique programming announcements that they said. And I'm just so curious too. Like, is it going to be where Electronica is? Like, is it that big? Or are we talking like Carthay Circle hangout and party and dance? What is this going to look like? And it sounds to me like they're going to have jazz swing type of music.
Oh my
Otherwise,
God.
why would they use that word?
Right. Okay. The only headline I read was that they're replacing the parade with it, which sounds
Ooh,
weird because that those two don't really go hand in hand, but
yeah, yeah.
maybe like as far as offerings go. Um, but does that mean it's gonna be some kind of swinging wake procession? Also,
Procession,
if they do like a
cavalcade.
funeral procession like they did at the 50th anniversary, I'd be so there for that too. But let me tell you
Ooh,
what makes me so upset about this. This was the fun. the year I was gonna take a skip.
Whoops.
I was like, you know what? I've done Oogie Boogie Bash for like the last 10 years straight. I could take a year off and put it towards other horror things. Like I was gonna just go all out on like other things with my money. However, now I have to go. So I will be definitely attending Oogie Boogie Bash. Oh my gosh.
Well, more reasons why you have to go is I'm going to attend Ookie Boogie Bash, so we
That's
should definitely
true.
go. And hopefully we'll find out more about what this is. Is it a parade? Is it a dance party? Is it both? Will be exciting. But the ticket on sale dates were also announced. So for Inspire Magic key holders, you can check out the limited amount of tickets on a pre-sale June 16th, so just in a couple of weeks. Rest of the Magic key holders tickets go on sale June 17th, and for the general public, June 18th.
Okay, sounds good. I will
Exciting.
mark my calendar and I'll be on there fighting along with the rest of you
There
to
we
get
go.
those Oogie Boogie Bash tickets. We all need to buddy up, do a buddy system, and get those tickets for all of us. Ah, all right. Well, speaking of you're just talking about magic keys at the tail end there. There are some more perks coming in for magic key holders. It sounds like they might be rolling some stuff out. And the first one we get to hear about that's new is that they're giving dining cards away with renewals, which is the first time we've seen an incentive for renewals in a very long time. If any of you are pass holders way back, they used to like give you a discounted price on your renewal if you were to stay on versus skip some time. It often won me over. I would love to do like a skip couple months and like just get my money back for those couple months and start a new annual pass. But we all know right now it's like, can you even get an annual pass at this point? So there's like multiple things, and now there's another incentive going along with that. So the dining card you get for Inspire, you get $100, Believe 75, Enchant 50, Imagine 25, and that is for any renewals between I think the day they announced it was the 27th of May. So then through the 26th of May. So a full year of renewals will get that dining card. So
Wow. So if somebody renews in November this year, they'll get that. It's this
yeah,
whole period. Ooh, okay.
yeah.
Definitely
Incentive. You're
incentive. Okay.
gonna Mike likes it. I
I
love
don't
it.
want to not renew and then miss out on free dining.
Right? $100 of dining is, can go
Oh
kind of
man.
a little bit of a ways at least.
Yeah.
And then some fun stuff. You guys know I love Tiki almost as much as I love Haunted Mansion. And over at Trader Sam's, it opened back up and they're celebrating their 15th anniversary and they have a new Trader Sam mug to go along
Oh.
with it. Have you seen this?
I ha don't think I have.
I'm just bringing it up because it's funny. It's a hyena, I think from Lion King. It's got to
Oh.
be. And he's in like a barrel, probably like a barrel around me. He's just laughing. And the tiki mug is like basically in the barrel. Like that's where the drink goes. However,
Oh.
Pirate of the Pacific, which we love her account, she posted a video of her drinking out of one of these mugs. And the straw, it just, the placement when you naturally have a straw in there looks quite weird because the hyena's just like laying back. And then across the way from him, this thing is sticking
Oh
out, if you know what I mean.
no. Wow. I thought you were gonna say in the mouth, but no, it's coming from below. Okay.
Yeah. It just makes it
Interesting.
look quite odd. So, kind of funny new oopsie, I think, from the design standpoint of that mug, but it's still very cute. They're also bringing back some old drinks that were like on the original menu, which is kind of fun. They had the Ginger's Paradise, Rosita's Margarita, the Kablooey, La Safari, and the old Kungaloosh.
Kungaloosh.
Gotta love that. They're also bringing back old food items as well, like the barbecue chicken flatbread, chicken katsu curry, and the fries of something I can never pronounce or I've
Ooh.
never tried to.
And what
Furikake?
else? Oh, you mean
Furikake?
the furikake fries.
Yes, we'll
Sure.
go with that. And then they also have a side of mac salad, so you can actually get something there. It's under $5. I'm kind of surprised.
Ooh.
And along with all of that, they're adding six new drinks. So the menu is like pretty significantly expanding, which is exciting. So it did drop down pretty narrow at some point. So yeah, we got to get over to Trader Sam's at some point too. That'd be super fun.
Yeah, you could have like a
Ooh,
full-on
we should go there
meal
tonight.
and drinks.
Ah, he's like, I don't know.
Oh, by the way, yes, breaking news. I am flying over to visit you tonight. after
Yep.
recording this podcast. No, for a second there, I was like, oh, that'll be fun. Like, I'm jealous, but you mean together go to Trader Sam's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be tired, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, we were talking about Oogie Boogie Bash earlier, and what were we saying that was reminding me so much of? Oh, the evac from
Oh,
Magic Kingdom being like a dream come true to be able to just like go sneak around, right? And like go check things out. Well, that like is a perfect segue over into Stolen Kingdom, which is what we're going to cover today and review. This is a documentary. You can check it out on stolenkingdomfilm.com. And I specifically wore my Unsolved Mysteries t-shirt for
ooh,
this today because we are getting into an unsolved mystery with this. And this is all about this guy named Buzzy. He's gone missing. I actually have his missing poster right here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, it's this cute little handout they gave at the showings. And it says description, date of birth, October 19th, 1989. He's a male, question mark years old, height about 4 feet tall, weight about 600 pounds, brown eye or brown hair, blue eyes, wearing green jumpsuit, brown boots, and glasses. And if you have any information, go to stolenkingdomfilm.com. I love that
wow.
so much.
Buzzy, find Buzzy. He is missing.
Fine, Buzzy. So yes, Stolen Kingdom, I'm going to give you a little blurb off of their website and off of letterboxd.com to give you an idea of what Stolen Kingdom is. And then we're going to do I'm going to say like a spoiler light review because I really do think all of you need to go watch this film. It is so cool and something that a lot of us that are listeners like probably haven't even heard about yet. It's something new. And you know, as people who do Disney all the time love to find something new in the Disney community, right? So highly, highly recommended. But this is what the synopsis of the movie is. So Stolen Kingdom is a documentary that delves into the history of mischief, scandal, and theft at Walt Disney World, ultimately leading to the theft of an animatronic valued at nearly $500,000. The film features key features from the park's underground exploration community, each sharing their unique stories. As the narrative unfolds, early pranks and antics are shown to have inspired more recent crimes, culminating in true crime mystery. Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
What begins as a tale of friendship and passion ends with one of the lingering questions: who stole Buzzy? A true crime documentary for the conspiracy heads who want to know what's really going on behind those do not enter signs at Disney World. And Josh Bailey turns his lens on the urban explorers and rule breakers operating between or beneath the surface of the parks. Wow, I am not a reader today, evidently. So that is an idea of what Stolen Kingdom is about, and we're going to leave a decent amount of it up to your imagination, but what I want to do is like take some pieces out of this film that were really standout moments to me and I feel like a really good discussion topic. Does that sound okay with you?
That does, yes.
All right. And if you have anything that you want to throw in, please, like by all
I would
means,
say,
jump
yeah,
right
even
in.
before you get into the movie, more context for me going into the movie. So there's also like that audience who does hang out on YouTube a little too much, like myself, and watches these channels who now get to produce these very professional documentaries. So like studios like Bright Sun Films, which a lot of Disney holics have seen at least some of that, like the abandoned videos, for example. And I spend way too much time on Reddit. So for me going in, I actually knew all about the Buzzy thing, but
Hmm.
you only knew bits and pieces of it and from different content creators. So going into a movie that was almost fully dedicated to Buzzy, at least the whole narrative was, then I was like, what? Like, this is like now it felt more official and cool. And that makes me compare it to something that I'm not sure if you've compared it to yet. So I'm going to save my thought
Ooh,
on that
okay.
until later in the episode. But yeah, tell us what are some of these
Okay.
things that we want to pull out.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like you're right. They like all the stuff we see is like kind of people's thoughts or opinions or little clips here and there. And this is all like put together in this like really
Yes.
great way. Okay. I love that. I did get to see it twice while they're on tour. So I got to like experience some of the Q&As, which was really, really cool. Um, and I might share a little bit more about that in a spoiler-ish episode later if we want to review again. But very cool. So, okay, let's jump straight in. Um, I think like in my opinion, this story had like three sections to it that I can think of at least right now. One is urban exploration in general. Like they made sure to cover urban exploration, then urban exploration at Disney parks, and then how that changes right over into the black market of Disney parks in general. So it can be like a documentary that's good both for Disney lovers and or people that maybe are into urban exploration or just like other more underground kind of topics that maybe don't look at Disney in the same light as the rest of us do, which I think. Do you know what I mean by that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
Like
mean, it would be like for someone who I'm trying to think of something that I don't know too much about. So if I decided to watch a crime drama about who stole the Mona Lisa and then get to learn all about that museum and what's underground and all the other crimes that were committed in there, it's something like that. So it would be entertaining regardless, yeah, of the subject.
totally. Yep. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about urban exploration first. So, first off, what is urban exploration, Mike?
Oh my goodness, on the spot. Okay, my version of it is when people, enthusiasts, they search out and seek out places usually that are abandoned, but for some reason are still sitting around. Sometimes those are completely desolate, but sometimes they're in an existing place that's still active. And some of the popular ones that I know I see on YouTube are like old shopping malls, or that's at least
Yes, lots
something
of
that
malls.
I'm very interested in. Yeah. And so I see a lot of enthusiasts going in there. And then, with the age of YouTube, now urban explorers usually are content creators as well. And that sort of gets them either into it or they just start filming if they're already into it. And I do know that there are some platforms out there to help us find these places, like Atlas Obscura, which is an app and a
Hmm.
website. And I will pause there. That's kind of my take on it.
I think that's a great take. Um I feel like it's like can be very artistic as well. Like a lot of photographers like to do urban
Yeah.
exploration. Seeing like the decay of whatever they're visiting is it's just like kind of cool to see things that were once up and running and now it's this like almost like post-apocalyptic look,
Yeah,
right?
especially places where the plants and trees like take over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So have you done any urban exploration in your past?
We have together at one place, it was in the East Bay-ish. And it was really cool because it had a lot of graffiti and like you said, like the art, like it was cool seeing what was done to it after the fact. It was kind of like a big brick warehouse building factory. I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a hotel. It's a hotel,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Talk
Yeah.
about the one in like Brentwood out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, with Nicole. Shout out
Yep.
Nicole. Yeah, I think that was the old hotel. How about anything else?
Oh, well, I don't know if it's abandoned, but it still feels like urban exploration. When I lived in LA, I used to go to the Griffith Park Zoo and like crawl through the caves and stuff
Yes,
like
I
that.
put
Yeah.
that on my list too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
LA Zoo. Yeah. I think that counts. It's like it doesn't have to be indoors. Urban exploration can just be like a
Yeah. Yeah.
space, you know? Yeah, I've done like haunted hotels. I've done some cathedrals. I think my favorite one, actually, I have two favorites. Oh, and old barracks is another one I've done a lot of, like for
Ooh,
whatever reason.
old
Those are always like
military
just
barracks.
deserted. Hmm.
Creepy.
Um, an old lighthouse. That was really cool one too. And so my two favorite was one was a cathedral in Detroit. And you know, Detroit, like the whole city is urban exploration,
Yeah,
right?
a
Like
lot of
not really, but you
abandoned
know what I mean? A
buildings.
lot
Yeah.
of plenty. And there's this one cathedral that is literally falling apart. Like it looked like the roof was going to cave in at any moment, but I knew it had been like that for a long time because I'd seen photos. But it's beautiful. It still has like stained glass windows and it had this one big hole in the ceiling. And if you go there at the right time of day, the sun shoots right through it and it like all the dust, it looks like something
Oh.
from Zelda or something. I don't
Yeah, it
even know
sounds
how
like
to
a
explain
game,
it.
video
It's like
game.
so beautiful. And I remember trying to take photos, and I had like some crap 35 millimeter camera back then, and it just couldn't capture any of it for me in the way I wanted people to see it. And just, I was so frustrated, but that's okay. And then the other one was, oh yeah, the I went to an old ice cream factory when I was in Germany. That was
Ooh.
really cool. We did a couple urban exploration things out in Europe, and
That's
yeah, the
scary.
ice
That
cream
makes me
factory
think
was
of
really
like
cool.
Hostel or something.
It was totally abandoned. Like there was like black and white checkered floor, which made it look cute, right? But it was all like, how it is, like all deserted and dusted, and people have been squatting. We actually saw a whole group of squatters up on the roof.
Oh,
So like
interesting.
people
Yeah.
were squatting there. They were cool though. They were nice. And they had this giant, it almost reminded me of Edward Scissorhands
Oh.
when he was like at the very beginning when Vincent Price is still
Oh
like
yeah.
working things out there, and there was this giant like spiral staircase that was like falling apart. Like it looked like if you barely touched it, it was just like turning into dust or something. It was like
Wow.
totally decaying. They had this big like steel wheel that would turn. It was so cool. So yeah, we both done some urban
Yeah.
exploration. I wouldn't call myself an urban explorer by any means because some of these people like it's their life at this point,
Yeah.
right? It is a big hobbyist thing. I
And
don't do it too
definitely,
often, but
if you go out there, explore at your own risk because yeah, you might run into people, squatters, hazards, all
yeah,
kinds of things. Yeah.
definitely dangerous. You got to wear the right shoes, got to watch your head.
Oh yeah.
Got to watch out for people. Yeah, so lots of things, and the police, right? Let's be real. So most of these places are still like owned, likely, so you're getting like in the trespassing zone when you're doing urban exploration. But nonetheless, a lot of that was prevalent in this film.
Yes.
Um, and I took a couple quotes down that I thought were like really good quotes that made me like just sit and think about how um this lands in our world of Disney, right? And the first quote is Disney is very legendary for being private and proprietary. And anytime you put something in a locked box, it makes someone want to know, how do I get that lock open? So that's one
Ooh.
piece. And then the second quote was when something closes, it is usually demolished and it's gone. But at Disney, there seems to be this tendency that once something has fulfilled its purpose, it is no longer needed and or costs too much money to remove. It is just left in place. So I thought this was like two very specific things to Disney. Maybe not the second one as much, because I know a lot of places, like heard about movie sets that they just leave out in the desert, right? Like
Yeah.
I think it's fairly
Yeah, but you know what?
common-ish.
It did make me think of Disney when they said that quote because it is weird that Disneyland has like the actually it made me think of Disneyland a little bit more specifically, even though I know there's some stuff at Disney World that's defunct. But I feel like at Disney World they replace things, but Disneyland has like quite a few, especially people movers, like the first thing that comes to mind that they just
Yeah.
left there. And then places like Las Vegas, as soon as something's down, there's a brand new casino in its place, usually.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right. That's true. And also what makes Disney stand out about this is that like if you think of the movie sets that are left out in the desert, that's like something that's solo out in the middle of nowhere. This is like right in the heart of like hundreds of thousands of people running through a week, and it's
yeah,
just there behind a wall and you wouldn't even know,
yeah.
right? It's almost like this secret garden, almost like effect to it.
And I had never thought about, oh, it actually does cost money to remove something.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep. So I feel like, there's all these moments in Disney history where people are like, oh, this is so cool. And including myself, I'm on both sides of this. I'll be like, oh, that's so cool. They used the geese from America Sings in Splash Mountain and Star Tours. Like, oh, that's such a cool Easter egg. However, was it Disney recycling and saving money?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes it's a win-win.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like I don't know what the actual like heart of that was, but I'll take it as both. Like I actually
Yeah.
appreciate both.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But it is super interesting. And some of the, it's funny that you think about Disneyland more. I think about Disney World more because they have so much more
Oh,
space and they have the space to just like kind of create new things instead of having to constantly like be moving back into the real estate they already have.
yeah.
What were you saying at Disneyland specific?
The pe people mover
People
always comes to
mover.
mind when I think of something defunct that is in plain view and in the middle of everything.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's been there.
overgrown, post-apocalyptic too.
Yeah, it's been that way since what, 2000, 2001?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
didn't, after Rocket Rods was only like a year, and that was
Yeah.
1999.
And
So,
Disney World may have probably more defunct things, but for some reason, the first thing I think of, and I think a lot of general public know a little bit more about People Mover compared to like Wonders of Life or something.
right, totally.
Yeah.
I think of Disney World because of like no because I know about this stuff though. Like there's a whole
Yeah.
building that they haven't touched. I've known about this Cranium Command and the Wonders of Life Pavilion for ages. So like that's so weird to me. And I'll see it, like I'm like, oh, there's
Yeah.
that golden dome over
Yep.
there. It's so
Yep.
weird. And then like knowing that alien encounter is just sitting there rotting away. Like that's like right, that's almost like People
Yeah.
Mover. It's like right in the heart
Right
of
there.
Tomorrowland,
Yeah.
and nobody even like likely even knows it was ever anything, right?
Yeah.
So so interesting. There's all these chairs. Like I just want to go sit in one of them right now. Like I could just go use this space for something.
That was like
Um
the Tomorrowland Theater. Like, let's use it for something. So at least we got the Pixar shorts in there.
the Pixar shorts. Wah wah. Excuse me. I'm just happy for the air conditioning. Anyway,
Yeah, there you go.
um, two very blatant uh, real estate things in Disney World, though, are Discovery Island and River Country. So there are two big things that are like defunct and, abandoned now. Those are both islands over in Walt Disney World that used to be some version of an attraction that are now defunct.
Well, River
Um,
Country is almost completely replaced now with the new Lake Lodge Tower. It's almost done the last
oh,
time I was
really?
over there.
Wait,
Yeah, like the full frames are there,
is
everything.
it going to be connected? Is it landlocked or not? Whatever the word I'm looking for. Not an
Uh,
island?
yeah, River Country is like it was like on the shore and then
Oh, I
across
keep
from
thinking
it.
that was an
Yeah.
island too. So Discovery
Yeah.
Island was the only
Was the
island.
only island. Yeah.
I always think River Country was
Yeah.
also an island.
But a
Okay.
lot of the ways people would get to Discovery Island was through the defunct River Country, and then and then
Uh,
you canoe or kayak or swim with the crocs
oh my
alligators over
God.
there. Ooh, how scary!
Crazy.
Which is crazy because that means you'd have to go through first defunct River Country, which is now Lake Lodge, and then through the creepy dark waters, and then
It's
to
like double, yeah,
abandoned. Yeah,
triple. That's crazy.
neat.
So Matt Sansois is an urban explorer that was in the film a lot. I really like the guy. I just like toy love him. But his little intro to Discovery Island was so good. He said, "Deep within Disney World lies an entire theme park slowly being reclaimed by nature." And I just love that quote. Like it's so true. It's like that's like the epitome of Disney and urban exploration like together, right? It's like just we're just seeing it just getting eaten up, but it's just sitting out there. It's just a little island. You can see it. We see it all the time. We're taking like the friendship boats or the whatever they're called. The
The
what is it
um
called? Ferries?
the ferries, and then also we went on that private tour and got to see things on that type of boat. Now I forgot what that boat is called. The one where you do the fireworks tour and all that stuff. So I did
I
that and I
didn't
got
get
to see.
invited to that one.
You got to live in Florida. Um,
Dang.
I did want to ask you, is Matt one of the people that could come on the show? I know there's a lot of people that you met at these places. I don't know
Could
if he
come
was at the
on.
Q&A. Was he in the Q&A?
No,
Okay, because
no.
I was gonna say he I didn't connect with him as much as you did when I saw him, and I wanted to talk about that too, compared to the other people on this documentary and
I think
why.
I connected with all of them.
Okay.
Well, maybe not one, but we'll get there. I actually have
Yeah.
that in here too. And I didn't like become, just to be clear,
Yeah.
did not become besties with anybody.
Oh,
But
darn. I thought we're gonna meet
I don't
all
know why
these
you thought that.
people,
No.
or some of them minus one. Whoops. But I
I
do think
did talk to
yeah.
the director and the editor, however, probably, in and out. That's okay.
That is very cool and very cool for our show. But with Matt, and they talk about this too, is like someone who started as an urban explorer and then got into Disney versus the reverse, and versus people who already were both. Like they kind of talk about those different types of personalities.
Yeah,
And that I just found that really, really interesting because I'm more excited about people who are Disney first versus urban exploration first, but that's just me.
right. Yeah, they did. I actually wrote this down too. They said three different people that are into theme park exploration are before the days of the internet, and they purely
Oh.
loved the theme parks, right? Like they just love the attractions at like an emotional level. Then there's the middle ground people who are into history and they like all that stuff, but they also like being an influencer and the notoriety or making money off of it in some way, right? Monetization of it. And then the third group is like Matt Sansois follows in that one where there's no connection to the theme park. But he sees other people, they said he sees other people doing it and wants to take it a step further. I feel like yeah, like he has the tools and knows how to do urban exploration really well. And then he found out you could do it in Disney parks and he's like, what? Let's check this out. So he's like, I'm going to go big on this. Um, And yeah, I don't feel like he ever kind of got changed over to a Disney holic at all.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't think so
like
either. And maybe
no.
that's what put me off of it. Like I could tell he was less interested in the Disney part of it, kind of dismissive of it, and I felt like he's still, which is totally okay. I still think he judges Disney adults, and I felt him judging me.
Oh.
Which it is what it is. That's the lifestyle we've chosen.
That's so interesting. Okay, so let's talk about some of these characters that we met. Not characters, real humans. This is a
Yeah,
documentary, you guys.
yeah.
These humans that we met in the film. I put down four of them because they stood out the most to me. And the first is Hoot, Hoot, Hoot
Hoot
Gibson. I can't say
Gibson.
it. Hoot Gibson. What are your thoughts on Hoot?
You have to remind me a little bit more about who each subject
Okay,
is.
it was Hoot and Chief. Oh my God, I almost forgot it. Hoot and
Okay.
Chief.
So Hoot is where he stopped going by that name because it was associated so much with his Disney
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, and
I've
I
known
think
him
he
as
was
Hoot
the
for so long that I can't remember
right.
his real
I
name.
don't either. I believe he was the cast member for a long time that would go
Yep.
backstage and post things, and also admitted like it was dumb behavior because you could get caught in
Yeah, you get
hindsight,
caught, you
right?
get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that one point he says, like, all these other guys were out getting laid and partying, and we're like, what the fuck are we doing? It
Yeah.
was so funny. But I like totally relate. That's what I would rather be doing too, in
And
my
I liked how
opinion.
he said he talked a little bit about going from high school where he was the nerd and thinking he would come to Disney World and like, the college program and all that stuff, and it would be all fun nerds, but he was like, no, it's still mostly cool people, and he was still the nerd, and
It's still just high school.
you have to
Yeah.
find your people, find your tribe, and he found other Disney nerds within the mostly
Yeah.
cool cast member people. That's interesting.
I really like I've been watching their stuff like pre-YouTube. Like this is like way back. And or like looking at their pictures. I don't remember if I really saw too much video until YouTube era, but anyway, um I feel like he had such a deep story in it that he almost has like trauma built around Disney World, and that makes me so sad. Like he's like, I
I
don't need
felt
to go
that
back
too.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like heartbroken for him because he seems like such a sweet person too. Like the nicest person. How he like, I don't want to spoil it, but he like took care of his friend. We'll leave it at that. And like it's just like I feel like I resonated with him the most out of all the characters in the whole film,
Wow.
or all the human beings in the whole film, because he's a nerd and he loves like his curiosity like runs him, and that's how I feel about myself. Like there was a point where you'll see it in the film if you're listening, um where they're on Horizons, which is now an extinct attraction, right, at Disney World and Epcot. And they love the attraction. It was like their favorite attraction, and they found out it was closing down, and they're like so bummed out. But they're like, they made a list, like they typed up a list per scene of things they want to see before it goes away. And they're like, I I literally was like, oh my God, this is absolutely 100% me. Like it was things that you just can't see from your car that you've always been curious about, your ride vehicle, right? Like there was one that said like front of girl or something in one of the scenes. And so what did they do? They end up jumping out and going into the scenes and taking these pictures of like all these things they've been curious about this whole time that they just can't see past the angles that Disney allows you to see from, right? And that just like it's exactly how my brain works. So I totally get him. And I just feel so bad. I hope I don't
He
know.
that he likes it. He can find joy in Disney again after this.
Yeah.
Uh, it was hard to watch a lot of the videos of them crawling around the sets and popping out of vehicles because we know it's so bad and we know for so many reasons why you shouldn't do it. And they acknowledged all those things. So I don't know if that made me feel better that they at least understood the horrible things they were doing. Like I was worried about like sets being broken that could never be unbroken. And then I guess kind of for their safety too. Like you had mentioned when you and I or you go urban exploring, you have to watch your head. And they talked
Hmm.
about how one of the guys that they were walking with banged his head on something sharp and it made a whole bloody hole in his head. That is so scary. There's all kinds of weird gadgetry and machinery and so yeah, it is a hazard. And so there's so many reasons why my body and mind were like, no, don't do this, don't get out. But the cool thing is uh, yeah, we finally get to see more than just screenshots and stills and quick video clips. Like these are original videos, and they're showing the full length of them crawling around, and this felt like never before seen full videos to me.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I've always wanted to do what they're doing, and I'm not worried about the things that you just said, but the one thing I am very scared of is getting in trouble.
Wow,
I'm
that's funny.
such a
That's the one thing I'm
wuss.
like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
such a wuss with it. Like it terrifies. My anxiety goes through the roof thinking about getting caught. Um, and yeah, like I remember there's this one time, speaking of stealing from Disney, thievery, um, there's this one time that teacups were like down and they took all the teacups off and they were like probably repainting them somewhere or something. So all the like the teacup uh discs or whatever are just blank. But on the side, close to the railing, like I absolutely could have grabbed one. It would have been difficult. Like I might have had to jump over the fence a little bit, but I don't even think so. I think if I like rolled over the fence, like held on to it and like leaned forward with my legs in the air, I could have reached it. And there it was all the circular things that you hold and spin, and it says spin this way on it or whatever. And
Wow.
I'm like, that would be the coolest thing to like get to have from Disneyland. It's just so quintessential, like teacups. Like, come on, it's so cute. But I didn't. I was too scared of getting caught. So
That
I'm
means
like,
some cast member probably wasn't scared and now they have it.
yeah, right. I saw it on eBay 2 days later. Like, damn
Yep.
it,
Hoot
for
Gibson.
thousands of dollars.
I do think what's funny about the getting in trouble thing is the way they were just so blatant about it. They would put on other cast members' jackets and walk around and name tags and say, "Oh,
Well,
I'm
that
just
wasn't
inspecting."
Hoot.
Oh, is that a different person?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Hoot and Chief, they just like got off inside the rides or like went backstage and it didn't sound like they ever got caught. I don't know. Like they had video of them on Horizons numerous times coming out the exit and the cast members just like, have a good day. Like they didn't even
So
know
weird.
that they were off the ride.
Okay,
The
so
one
you'll
thing I
probably
kept
oh, go ahead.
the one thing I kept wondering about was what about other guests? Like,
Yeah.
was it just that dead that nobody was riding Horizons? Because they were like, those things are back to back. Horizons, they would like the ride vehicles were left like shoulder to shoulder, basically. So I'm like, how is it not other people seeing them and then reporting them at the end or something? But
Yeah.
I guess it was fine.
Maybe there were less narcs back then. They're just like, oh, whatever.
True. It's like,
Kids
oh,
being
these silly
kids.
boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you'll probably talk about one of the other people in the documentary. There's somebody who was very blatant about telling the camera, the documentary, exactly what they stole and was like, ha ha, Orange County Police, I got one over in you. And that I didn't like. So I don't know. Like you said, you're afraid of getting caught. There's something about that too, where I'm just like, why do you have to do that? Say that.
Okay, well, you're talking about Patrick Spikes, and I cannot believe you
Oh,
forgot his name after this documentary. He was like the wild card, like the
yeah.
one that I don't think, no offense to him, but most people probably don't like from this documentary,
Yeah, sure. I
right?
could
He's
see
set
that.
up to be that. He's very cocky, very, very cocky. And yeah, he would just like, do you remember how you and I will go to like a convention and walk through doors we're not supposed to?
Yeah.
And a lot of that just goes with confidence, right? And sometimes we'll have those bursts of confidence. I'm not scared to get caught in those situations either because you could play dumb.
Yeah.
But like if I'm like off in a haunted mansion running around in the graveyard, I don't feel like I can play dumb as easily. But going through the wrong door, speaking of, I did that in the haunted mansion. When we were walking out, we just like, right, let's just go here. We went out through an exit and no, but there wasn't even anybody back there. It was like white walls, and we got to see the reverse side of
Oh.
the bus that follow you. We saw the like windows with the lightning and thunder getting shot on them,
How
which
about
is
that
funny
period
because
of
it's a pile of
time?
branches.
Remember for a while they were letting us go through a side entrance?
Yeah, you got to see it later too. Yeah.
Wow.
The
That's
era
gone
I'm
now,
talking
right?
about is in my early 20s when I was like fearless. That is no
Oh,
longer me,
wow.
unfortunately. But that entrance or that area is still there, but it is now a ADA area.
Oh, interesting.
So it connects to an elevator now. They built an elevator in. So yeah, so Patrick Spikes. Let's talk about him for a second. No more thoughts.
No,
Just
yeah,
like
just that he was that guy that I remember was just so like, wow, just telling
yeah,
everything.
he was wild. Um I feel like he has a little either like completely clueless or brave. I can't tell which it is, but he was willing to like be super honest, even with his fuck
Yeah.
ups. He was like, that's where I fucked up. And like, I don't know why I did that. And yeah, I should have not done that. Like, he was just kind of being
Yeah.
very transparent, which made me like him a little more. He actually showed up to the Q&A that I went to, which
Oh,
was
wow.
so
And all
crazy.
of these people, subjects, I'm pretty sure all of them were trespassed at some point and they're not allowed to come back to the park in some way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
that's
think
just crazy hearing
most
from
of them.
people who can't go anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was probably the craziest. He's the one that, if you guys look up stuff into Buzzy, you'll find out the most about Patrick because he's the one that stole a lot of the stuff, right? Sorry.
Thievery.
Thievery. Um, well, Matt Sansois is next on the list. We talked about him a little bit already. So he's like the urban explorer, who's not really connected to Disney. Um, I feel like I feel like he's really smart, which is what I liked about him.
Yeah.
Like he's really well spoken and just really smart in his responses. And one of the parts I loved was when he found out that the CEO of Disney knew that he had gone in Walt Disney's plane, which by the way, I don't know if I'm just ignorant, but I had no idea that the plane was gutted at some point. They like refurbed it because it's on tour now and it's all beautiful, right? It looks like old school, but it's obviously not. There's this footage of him in it with it like
Yeah,
just
that was
torn
when it
apart.
was out on the runway, I think in the Hollywood backlot tour at
Yeah, yeah.
MGM.
So
Yeah.
the inside was just like nothing like gutted out. But yeah, so he broke into that and his reaction to finding out the CEO was so genuine. It was hilarious. But he even like called out the director, whoever it was in the background. I couldn't tell who it was, but he's like, how did he find out, the CEO? And they said, Disney people. And then he didn't just like take that. He didn't say like, okay. That's crazy. He said, "What? Disney people? What do you mean by that?" And then he's like, "You on a wire?" Like he was like, he caught it. And he's like really smart. Um,
He reminds me of the type of uh let's say you were putting together a jewel heist and you need that person who's like the
Yeah.
Catwoman of the thing,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Oh, let's bring him on." Like I could see him in a movie playing that character, and usually they're like the hacker person too is also like quiet and reserved
Yeah.
and really smart.
And
Yeah.
agile, like
Yeah.
he's got stamina and stuff. Yeah, he was a really I really like listening to him speak, and he was in a lot of the film too. So you guys will get to meet Matt Sanso when you watch this. And lastly on the list, Southern Pirate. Do you know who that is?
I can't remember. Tell us.
He is the guy that saw Matt Sanso's videos of no, Discovery Island and decided to do his own like
Yes.
investigation
Okay.
on Disney. He was like so
This
crazy.
is that weird like survivalist dude.
Yeah,
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 he was an interesting. I would call him a character for sure because he
right.
was something else.
He was wild. He definitely was like a conspiracy theorist. He thought Disney was like running experiments on this island or
Yeah.
something. And like it was really fun though. And this is one of my favorite parts of the documentary because the way they depicted him just made me laugh like the whole time. Like they did such a good job of like like showing these clips and like their editing of how they put these in a row. Just like it was so good and it just made me like so much humor to it. Even though what he was doing was not humorous at all, right? He's just
Yeah.
like kind of crazy.
And
Crazy
I
is a
do
bad word,
remember
but
as just the
wild.
casual Disney holic looking online for cool things over the years, I've seen clips of both Matt's videos and Southern Pirates videos. Never knew much about the people behind it. Never knew there were like different groups of people that went. And so it was cool
Right.
seeing this all laid out. And I do remember Southern Pirates videos now because he filmed them in a way to make them spooky and creepy, and I remember that about the videos, like they remind me of like the island of Dr. Moreau where there's experiments happening or something.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Um, I feel like that is a perfect lead into like what I love, or like a lot of us love about urban exploration at Disney parks. And I put like a couple things down, and one is like, first of all, you get really cool backstage photos from urban explorers, like things
Yes.
you just can't see on your own. Like I think Matt Sanswa said that he's like, I do this as a career to like show people things they can't normally see. And I'm like, that's cool, thank you, because I've seen a ton of stuff that I don't normally get to see. So that's awesome. Also, like just curiosity in general to me is so relatable. Like I love like even Matt Santua, he might not be into the Disney parks or like care about the history, but he's like curious to see how far he can get. He's heard that it's hard to do this. Like, can he get further? Like what that's curiosity too, right? Like kind of driving him. Um, and the Hoot and Chief whole section of this film, they kind of came in and out of this. It just takes me way back because they created the Verde Times in 1997. That was like an old message board, or was it even a message board? It was like a blog, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I think that was around the time where I started looking at stuff like this. And I remember Danielle and I used to just sit. Danielle, friend of the show, shout out. We would just sit at her house and stay up all night watching this type of stuff, like these videos, looking at backstage photos, like trying to both like just see cool stuff, but also like
Yeah.
understand how things work, right? That actually is one of the things I appreciated about Patrick Spikes is he does have a love for Disney. He does like to learn how things work and loves like the history and stuff. He just like kind of does whatever he feels like doing in the meantime, which kind of puts
Yeah.
him on the other side of it. But that passion is there. And I think the Mesa Verde Times is still up. So you guys can check that out if you're into that.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, and like especially they went on rides that were closing down and like captured stuff before, and that was like kind of us as Disney holics, our first version of archives for us,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's a good point. There
Because
was
like
one part where somebody actually said, again, I think it was the cocky guy. He was like, "Well, you're welcome for us documenting this stuff because they didn't even have it themselves at the Disney studios, Disney
Oh,
company. So now you have it because we did
you're
it. Yeah.
welcome. It's true. I love it. So let's see here. What else I have on my list of things to do? Um,
Well, you
oh,
got to
I
talk
love,
about the pixie dusters at some point, or at
yes,
least
yes, I
that
have that on
term.
here too. Um, one thing though is another kind of a quote, and it says part of the danger of going somewhere all the time is that you become very familiar with it. And that familiarity breeds contempt. You start to get bored of just the normal experience and you start thinking, well, what else can I do? And then you start doing things like laying down while riding Peter Pan. And this also resonated with me too. There was a time where like we went all the time, and I wouldn't say we were bored with it. It didn't feel like boredom. It just felt like, hey, let's try something else,
Yeah.
like
I think it's
adding a
more
new
that
flavor or
curiosity
something.
that you
Yeah,
mentioned. It's
exactly. Going back to
curiosity,
curiosity,
not so much breeds contempt like the extreme, like they said, but uh, yeah, the familiarity with something makes you want to do something more and different with the thing that you like.
right? Um, a couple examples of things I've done, and I want to hear if you could think of any that you've done. We put on headphones, Danielle and I, with like old school headphones where you share the earbuds, right? And we tried to play the original soundtrack of Space Mountain while riding the new one, like the Michael Gian, whatever his name is, Giancarlo. I always say, I think I say it wrong. Um, but we play the old Dick Dale soundtrack, and we landed it so hard the very, very first time. We are so excited. So we got to ride Space Mountain with the old soundtrack. That was super fun. We ride Thunder Mountain backwards. We asked to sit in the back row. We like stare at the tracks. Like what? It like releases this weird adrenaline because like not only are you not supposed to be doing it, but like you can't see where the track is going. And since you're backwards, everything's in reverse. So it kind of feels like a new ride. It's like a different way to look at that. We also played like music in the Haunted Mansion that like doesn't fit. Like I think we listened to like Gin and Juice in the Haunted Mansion.
Crime, that's a crime.
It's a crime. It was kind of cool. It, like music really affects me. So like when you're kind of laying down your own soundtrack, you're like changing the whole vibe of the situation you're in. So it really just it's kind of fun if you know you're going to go on it 100 times, like see what it feels like listening to hip hop or see what it feels like listening to whatever or some soundtrack from another movie or something. Um, is there anything like that you've done to
I've
like
definitely
quote unquote
wanted to
spice it
do
up?
I've wanted to do the headphones thing with the Wicked song on like every roller coaster.
Oh
I
yeah.
just never really have my headphones. I should bring it. And they need to be wired. I'm too scared to put my AirPods
Oh
obviously in.
yeah, I would be too.
Um, so I would love to do that. I think for me, the things I've done are a little more basic, but it's like combining the hobbyist in me with Disney. So like stopping to take those 30-minute spatial videos and just sitting on a bench while that happens. That's like a new way to experience the park, a different way. You get to people watch. So that's one of the things. I started doing like lounge hopping with people. That's you get to go to places and stay in areas that you normally just go right past or right through and you just rush through it. So I think like the slowing down of things would be
That's true.
like a lot of what I've done to spice things up, actually. Yeah, that's a good
That's
way
a
to put
good
it.
point. Even just like it really has changed the entire way we do Disney by just changing the way we do Disney, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like oh, like this whole way that I feel and think about this place is so different now. And I've always loved it, but it's like at a different level now and it's even better. Like you're finding
Yeah.
out ways that fit you better.
I will
It's really
say
cool.
there's one very common way that a lot of Disney park goers usually do when are ready to spice things up if they've been there a few times that is probably so popular and overlooked, which is hidden Mickeys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true. Oh my
I
gosh,
remember
even Disney
discovering that.
provides ways to spice it up.
Yeah, yeah.
They have stuff in the Park Play app too that you can do.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, okay. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
think
the
about
bounty
that.
hunter thing definitely that became a whole different way for me to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly. Um, all right, so pixie dusters, let's get to it. I love this because pixie duster to me, it was always the people who gift you stuff or
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It
Do
reminds me of Disney
something,
Cruise Line, pick the
yeah,
gifting. Yeah, the
cruise
gifting.
line or in the parks.
Those little
Like when
keys
Nicole
and
found that thing
things.
and tried to
Yeah.
track him down. That was so funny.
Sometimes you're lucky and you get a baby Jesus.
Oh my God, not the baby Jesus. Oh wow. Okay, so I looked it up on Urban Dictionary, which is what they did in the film too, and it says a shortened term for pixie dust snorters, which is another term people use. Any individual that is obsessed with the Walt Disney Company to a point where they believe that Disney can do no wrong. To pixie dusters, Disney is truth and fact. Everything they do is gospel, and anyone criticizing their decisions is wrong. These individuals live and breathe Disney. They're snorting the dust all day long. Would you consider yourself a pixie duster?
No, and I actually disagreed with them when they were talking about these pixie dusters because I don't really think they exist. I think most Disney obsessed people are so critical that everything Disney does is wrong. But I will say that's probably because I am a Disney holic and that's who I surround myself with in my algorithms. So I don't really know the people who are just Disney pure defendists. And I have seen people who are both. I've seen people who are super Disney fans criticize Disney all the time, complain all the time, but if a non-Disney person says something about Disney, ooh, it'll set them off and they will start defending it to the core, even though they know there's all these complaints. So yeah, there's like just it's a lot. It was complex, and I guess I got triggered when I heard pixie dusting.
Love it. Um, I I agree with you, but I do know a lot of pixie dusters, especially down
Wow.
here. Now that
Okay.
I've moved, the more and more people I meet, I keep meeting pixie dusters. This is why one of the reasons I was so excited to go to this film. I was like, I felt like, oh my God, these are my people, right? Like this is more like, let's just be real. Like Disney is a huge corporation. They've done a ton of wrong. And it's also like I feel like that's normal. I feel like being a pixie duster is ignoring the truth a lot. Like it's kind of silly to me to be a pixie duster. I'm like kind of right in the middle. Like I love Disney and I love almost everything they do, but I am also critical. Like I feel like I will criticize stuff that I don't like, but I also love the things I love. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
both. I'm not one of the like people who just hate everything though. Like I know there's a prism, right, of that like of pixie dusters, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But um, I definitely don't think they can do no wrong. And I do know a lot of people who do believe that they can do no wrong. And they just, you tell them about something like, what about blah, blah, blah? What about them canceling their DEI program? And they're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. And they just like want to cruise right past it. Like
Yeah.
literally, they're like, want to change the subject because Disney can do no wrong. And it
Yeah.
frustrates the hell out of me. Also, I know a lot of people who will not break rules. That's another thing.
Oh, fair
I've met
enough.
a
Yeah.
ton of rule followers,
Yeah.
and you and I are rule breakers
Yep.
to a certain extent. Probably not as much as some of these people in this film, but like compared to the general public, I think we can be rule breakers when it makes sense. We're not like doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So yeah, I like that. I like that you said there's a prism of pixie dusters, just like there's a prism of addicted Disney fans, aka Disney holics.
right, Disney holics. I love it. So yeah, I feel like there's so much in this movie that I've already seen, but I really loved watching it put together this way, how you were talking about earlier. I just feel
Yeah.
like it was so creatively put together and they said in the Q&A that they had multiple versions of it that were much longer or not maybe like super long, but I think they had one that was like a 90-minute version also. They got it down to this one at 74 minutes. So it's like pretty short in comparison to most films. Um, but they like kept just trimming the fat. And I feel like the end result is very good, but it does make me want so much more. Like I want to
Yeah.
just keep diving into, even if it's not the same topic, like some other version of like this underground world of Disney fans. And because it's all fans in general, right? It's
Well,
all
and sometimes
people.
when you do love the topic of a true crime, even if you heard of it for the first time, you'll watch every version of that that's covering
Yeah.
that same story because you're like, there might be a missing footage or another angle here.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, actually, one of the things they put in the film, I kind of freaked out about. I was like, oh my God. And I talked to the editor afterwards about it because I was so like, ah. There were some shots in there from this YouTube video that was simply called Disneyland Locals. You can still look it up. And I found this again ages ago. Like, I don't know, I was probably in my early 20s when I first watched it. Or like maybe not. I guess whenever YouTube came out. Like, not to age myself, late 20s when YouTube came out, mid 20s, I don't know. But anyway, um the Disneyland Locals video was crazy to me because it was the first time I had ever seen people that weren't doing urban exploration like after hours or like inside like a hidden like controlled area. This was just people as if they were hanging out with their friends at the mall, but in Disneyland. And I had this moment watching that way back then that like, oh my God, people can just go to Disneyland and just hang out. Because for me, back then it was very much a vacation every single time.
Yeah.
Like
And with
you
family
save
a
up
lot, the
money.
younger we were.
Yeah. And even when it wasn't, like when I was still with my friends, we would go and we would hit it hard. We would go morning to night. We would go ride, ride, ride. And these types of videos from like the Disneyland locals, I was just like, I want to do what they're doing. I want to have a group of my friends, a bunch of people. I want to bump into my friends at Disneyland. And like, I'm living that life now. We both are. Like, we can just like cruise in to Disneyland. And I feel like that is like just such a different world than the world I was living in before. And it's both were really good. I'm not going to say either or, but like I really like this version of that. And that Disneyland Locals is the first time I'd ever seen that. And they had clips of it in the movie. And I was freaking, I was like, oh my God, it's the Disneyland Locals video. And there's like these kids that look kind of like Raver, like they had their little visor and the baggy pants, right? And they were out like doing little things by the Small World characters. And I think there's one where they like threw a panda, which is totally not cool. But like, me and the editor were like laughing about that. We're like, oh my God. And he's like, the panda. I was like, I know. Like, there's a part where a guy like peed into Snow White's well. There's just
Oh
like
yeah.
so much going on in that video. Um, but it has this weird thing to me. I'll watch it like once a year. Like I'll just be like, oh yeah, I want to watch that Disneyland Locals video again. And to see that somebody else out there was also watching it, even though you know they were, it's just like so cool to see it have made it into this documentary, which was really, really cool for me. Um, Okay, another couple of things. I just have a couple questions for you, then we'll wrap up because we're getting pretty long here. I knew this
Well,
was going to be a big topic.
there's endless threads to pull here. So I definitely think if you're up for it, we even continue some of this into a whole other episode, I think would be fun because it is reminding me of something that's really a hot topic right now. This whole
Oh,
documentary reminded me,
oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah,
yes, tell me.
it reminded me of the back rooms.
Oh,
Like the cast
yes.
members only, do not enter these doors. What's behind there? It feels like defunct and it feels like strange memories of what you thought something looked like, and it's there. And without spoiling that movie itself, The Back Rooms, which is also based on things that are from the internet long ago, and Creepypasta, which we just did recently. I was just like, wow, this is all swirling together, Backdoors and Stolen Kingdom. And I watched those movies back to back, so it felt very in the same theme. But I think there's so much there with these defunct things, especially Cranium Command and Wonders of Life Pavilion. I think we could do a full deep dive on that attraction itself.
Yes, I think so too.
Ooh,
Um, okay. Gosh, I have these three questions I want to ask you, and then I want
yeah.
to talk about this, where you can find this movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So I'm going to ask you, do you agree or disagree or agree to disagree? You can
Okay.
do any of the three. These are all quotes from the film. First quote, the cool stuff is out in the park. I don't care about the backstage. Do you agree,
I would
disagree,
say
or agree to
disagree
disagree? Okay,
because I think it's both. I don't think you have to choose one or the other.
I agree. I agree with you.
Okay.
Um, I feel like there's a a group of people that like don't like to quote spoil the magic
Right.
and understand what how things work in backstage versus people like us who like it almost increases the magic to learn how it works.
Yeah.
All right, next quote. When you remove a plastic steak from a set, it loses the magic and it's now just a plastic steak.
Okay, this quote got me thinking a lot when they said it,
Uh-huh.
and it reminded me a lot of you and our friend Danielle, because I feel like the two of you will collect anything, even if it requires a 10-minute exploration of how you got this piece of lint or how you got this button that fell off a coat and where it belonged to. So I would say I agree that there's a point where if what you're stealing, I mean, if what your keepsake is just a tiny piece of something and without the context, it could mean nothing. I agree with that. However, I have done the same things that I'm making fun of you about. I've done them because in my mind, I don't know, it just makes me feel connected to the thing. And I
Yeah.
know it's stupid. I know it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have saved a few things and I'm like, "Oh my God, this like came this was here and this was on this set and I've been looking at it for 27 years or what, like those kind of things. And now it's in my hands."
Right. And without the explanation, it's just like an object or something.
Yeah.
A couple of things actually come to mind. The Third Street Promenade, Santa Monica Pier Ferris wheel. I've taken a light bulb that's on the thing. I've unscrewed it and I had it like in my collection for so long, which it just looks like a light bulb. But to me, I know where it came from and how
I think
risky
that's
it
so
was
cool.
to do it, right? And then another one, I have this Crystal Geyser bottle, which I still have, that Jason Schwartzman of Phantom Planet band at the time, he drank out of when he was the drummer, and he threw the empty bottle in the audience. So I
Yes.
have this empty, dirty, gross bottle of Crystal Geyser, but it was because this famous person from a band that I loved drank from it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I had a whipped cream can from Two Live Crew that they threw out in the audience, and my
Ooh.
brother threw it away, thought it was
Yeah.
trash. I'm so mad. It's like the
Yes, that
best
is a
souvenir
risk.
to have.
It is a risk you take, is that if one
Yep.
man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yep.
I think the most common thing that a lot of people probably can relate to is like stealing napkins if it has the logo of something on it.
Like Club
That's,
33.
yeah, completely. It's like borderline just an object, but at least it explains where it's from.
That it's a very good point.
Yeah.
I actually have our friend Michael that's at the end of every single one of our podcasts. If you guys know his story, he passed. And one of the things that he wrote to me in his will was that I get all of his apothecary jars that he had collected from going to Disneyland. He would like get the water from Splash Mountain or the dirt from Indiana Jones Queue or like whatever it is. I have like all these little things for all these different rides at Disneyland. And it's like one of my favorite possessions. And it's again just a little apothecary jar with dirt in it, right? Or water. It's like, what? Who cares? But I think it's very special, so I am definitely not agreeing with that one. Lastly, theme parks are not a museum. And then the continuation part to that is if you say theme parks are not a museum, you're also implying that themed attractions are not art.
I would say agree to disagree because I think it's complicated is my answer to that. I
Okay.
think I think you could replace a piece of art and it's gone forever while still acknowledging that it was a piece of art. I think Banksy made this very popular in our generation. He even made art that the art itself is destroying itself. The painting then bleeds on
Right.
itself and you can't see it anymore. So I think if the artist is the Imagineers or the Imagineering department and they choose to do something and replace something, it doesn't mean they're saying it's not art. It just means something's got to be replaced, or maybe the intention was to replace it, which comes to the next thing. Walt Disney always said, it's always being built and things keep evolving. So sometimes the art was meant to be updated all the time. I think we're going to see a lot of that with the Carousel of Progress, which is being updated over at Disney World. It was meant to be updated like every 15 years, and then some way somehow they forgot to do that over time. And then all of a sudden we're like, no, it needs to stay the same as a museum. But that's only the joke's on us. That's because they actually left it stale for too long. So yeah, I don't
That's
know.
a
It's
good
I think
point.
right. It's
That's
kind
actually
of
kind of crazy
both.
to think about. If they changed it more frequently, we probably wouldn't care.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the last thing I would say about this very good topic is Disneyland in particular is the thing that I would like to remain a museum. And you can let all the other Disney parks, including Disney World, replace things all they want. But there's something special about Disneyland where the more they could preserve that, I am in support of it.
Okay. I agree with a lot of what you said. Um, I think like a lot of Disney decisions, I think about the business structure. Like I'm not naive to the fact that like if nobody's going in Carousel Progress anymore, we should probably update it, right? Like I don't think that's terrible. I get bummed because I like Carousel Progress as is. I'll go on it every time I go there, but I'm only there once a year or something. So, I get why they have to do these things, but I also feel okay with it because I trust the archives. Like I know that they're doing something somewhere to archive things nowadays, and that makes me have this like moment, like where I'm like, okay, it's gonna be okay.
It's all going to
Um,
be okay.
I wish they had a more public-facing version of that, like they do some places, like the Walt Disney Family Museum has a lot of cool things to
Yeah.
see. I really still want them to change Tomorrowland into Yesterland and just make it a history area because I think there's so many people that are interested in it and bring back some old rides or ride through VR or whatever you want to do to like make people be able to experience the history of Disneyland. But yeah, I also feel Disneyland is in its own very much more a piece of actual history than any other park, but I
Yeah. And
love
and
it
and
all.
for more than Disney holics, right? It's like an American thing, a
It's true.
museum of a point in history and a brand, and yeah, it just means so many things. So yeah, that park needs to be handled carefully.
Yes, very much so. I love that. All right. So Stolen Kingdom, what a journey. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that I got to watch it I got to see it 4 times and you got to watch it from home and saw it in theaters, saw it with different people. Shout out to Samson, Christopher Fargo, for watching it with me, even for my numerous times of seeing it. Um, what would you give it for an overall rating?
I would give it I always have my rating ready and I didn't have it for this because there was so much to comment on. Um,
Uh-huh.
I would give it a 4 out of 5, and that I would say I still could tell these were YouTubers who were making like one of their first feature documentaries, which is not a bad thing at all. And I just root for them. I hope they start getting even to other subject matters like they do on some of their YouTube channels, and keep making more of these like fan made but
Yeah.
still well researched documentaries.
That's a good point. This is another, me and my world of fandom. Like I just love fans of fans and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So this is definitely right up my alley. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Probably
Yeah.
not a surprise at this point. I love it, and hopefully everyone listening gets to check it out too. Um, Currently, it's early access on Letterboxd only. It's exclusive to Letterboxd up until the 16th. So next week, no, in 2 weeks from now ish. It'll be available on other streaming platforms. So maybe then you can check it out. Letterbox right now has like it'd be almost like a theater ticket. Letterbox, I think it was like $50 to rent it for 2 days. But super enjoyable. We watched from home. I had a little watch party. I suggest you do the same. Very cool. Um, Again, you can find it on stolenkingdomfilm.com. And in the meantime, if you wanted to check out some other content, you should check out Remain Seated, Please, which is a Hoot and Chief story by editor Matt Serrano of this film that we just covered. You can find that one on YouTube. And
Very cool.
yeah,
So, on today's episode, we talked about new things coming to Haunted Mansion and Oogie Boogie Bash. We also talked about new things coming for Magic Key Holders. And then, of course, our first segment, I'm going to say first, on everything related to Stolen Kingdom and urban exploration. And most importantly, we're going to leave our listeners hanging about more about Buzzy and what happened to Buzzy because that was a big part of Stolen
Yeah.
Kingdom. And we'll do that next episode with a deep dive of Wonders of Life Pavilion, Cranium Command, Buzzy, and maybe some backrooms lore to add
Ooh, I
to
love
the
it.
episode.
Well, thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed episode 290 of the Disney Holic Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disneyholics.
And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com. Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.